Hi, I'm Brandon Scott from Yukon Blonde, and you're listening to, what is it?
The interview show with Scott Wood.
I know.
Oh, man.
For it.
All right.
I'm Jason Haberman from Yukon Blonde, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Nice. First one.
That was pretty good.
Hi, I'm Jeff Innes from Yukon Blonde, and you're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Scott from Yukon Blonde. You're listening to the interview show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to the interview show. This is Scott Wood, your host. I opened the show with My Girl. That's by Yukon Blonde off their record Tiger Talk. I've got the band here with me, standing in the rain in Vancouver. Guys, I'd love it if you guys could talk a bit about that track.
That track I kind of wrote as a sort of like an angsty sort of teenager at, I don't know, just wants to kind of, just like this classic teenager stuff. Just get out of this town. It's kind of like what I was when I was a teenager, and I kind of want to like look back and be like, you're an idiot.
Did you guys ever ask him what happened between him and the girl in real life?
Oh, I didn't. What happened?
Yeah, it didn't work out. Didn't work out. Oh well. I got a girl though. It's okay. It's okay.
So there's a happy ending. Sweet. Today I'm standing in the alleyway behind the Commodore Ballroom with Yukon Blonde. Guys, I'm going to go around in a circle, and I'd love it if you could introduce yourselves.
I'm Jeff.
But Jeff, what do you do in the band?
Oh, okay. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Brandon and play guitar and sing.
I'm Jason. I play bass.
Thanks, guys. Yukon Blonde started as a band called Alpha Baby. I was hoping that you guys could tell the story.
Ah, dear. Brandon, you give this a shot. It's
Alpha Baby. We started in Kelowna around 2005, 2006, and toured under that name for about a year and a half or so, and went through some member changes, evolved into Yukon Blonde, and moved to Vancouver around 2009, and started touring heavily as that band, and we put out our full length.
Yeah, I was hoping I could get you guys to talk about it from the perspective of surviving a band implosion into something else that's working for you.
Yeah, well, it was quite disastrous, like the whole Alpha Baby thing. It was actually like 3 years that we were that band, and we pretty much made 2 records, and yeah, I guess I don't know. We toured a lot. We toured a lot with a lot of great bands, played with a lot of great bands, and I don't know. Everything all of a sudden started going wrong. There was a couple of members left the band. We crashed our van. Like all this stuff started happening, and so we were like the whole thing was pretty trying. Like we slept in the van every single night. Like we never stayed in a hotel or had our own beds on tour. And then as soon as we made the sort of, I guess, make or break decision, to change the name. I don't know. Things just got better. It was like, we changed the name, got a new van. It was good.
Got new songs. You just refresh everything. Start fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, we got rid of all of the old material. It wasn't even a name change. It was almost just like a, reforming of the band. Like,
So a lot of people who are into music, who want to start their own band, have gone through situations like that where something hasn't been working, everything falls apart. So I was hoping you guys could give a tip on putting it back together.
A big thing is to think very, very objectively about what your situation is, about what your project is. There was a really great piece of advice from one of our friends, John Ray Fletcher, who said, like, you think you have fans, or you think it's very important that you keep your name, but it's not, because the people who love your band will know that you've changed or reformed your band, and everybody else will ultimately benefit from it. So it's important to realize, like, where you're at in your career. Like, if you're actually only playing to 20 people a night, it's not a big thing. And it blew us away how much he was right. Like, as soon as we changed the name, it was just interest in the band, and yeah, everybody stuck around. So just cut the cord and do it if you feel that you need to do it.
Do you guys want to jump in?
That's pretty good. Yeah, I think maybe just have like a band goal. Make sure you're all in for it, the same reasons, and everyone's dedicated to it. That was kind of a big thing.
I don't want to beat this to death, but there's an awesome story about how you guys came up with the name Yukon Blonde. So I'd love it if one of you guys could tell that story.
Oh yeah. Our previous bass player Adam, who's no longer with us, he was at work at a coffee shop, and his boss had a hair in the coffee, and it was gray hair, I guess. And she said, "It's not mine because I'm a Yukon Blonde." So denial of gray hair, I suppose. It was catchy. We liked it.
It was such a classic moment too, because we were all sitting at this pub. Like we always drank at this pub that Graham and I worked at, and we had been coming up with lists and lists of names, and nothing felt right. Like we were just kind of getting down the list, and all of a sudden, Adam, our ex bass player, runs in, and just such a classic moment, and just like, guys, I got the name. It was funny.
I'm hoping that I could be home right now. The feel of the breeze, the smell of the trees under my brow. I'm hoping that I could be home right now, right to you. I hear you calling out. I hear you calling out. I hear you calling out. I hear
Finnis from Yukon Blonde, and you're listening to The Interview Show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to The Interview Show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Stairway. That's by Yukon Blonde off their second record, Tiger Talk. I've got the band here with me. I would love it if you guys could talk about that track.
It's a Christmas song to my mom. That's how it started. I couldn't come home for Christmas. This is my first Christmas away from home. I really missed my family. Like, I just wanted to get home, and I couldn't. So I couldn't afford to buy my mom anything, so I recorded her a song. I've done this a few times. I once sent her a song called Rent, which was asking her for rent money. That was sweet. It was a good tune. Rent.
Did it work?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's a sucker for that stuff. And it's kind of funny because it wasn't even supposed to be included in the batch of demos for the new record, and then it kind of worked with the sound, and Brandon, he really liked the demo of it, and he's like, I think we should work on this. So
wasn't it the trees are falling down?
it was
Christmassy like that kind of.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was kind of just gibberish. I couldn't think of the chorus line, so I just sort of went.
It was in a really high pitched voice on the demo. The melody was there though, you know.
I'm glad you worked on that.
Yeah, you got it.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I'm good. I was just thinking about the steak I had earlier and how it's kind of stuck in a certain spot in my belly now. So anyways.
Thanks for that, guys. Okay, so Yukon Blonde, you guys do a lot of touring, and I was reading a quote from you, Jeff, that you were talking about touring being an influence in shaping the band's identity. So I was hoping I could get you guys to talk about that.
Well, yeah, why don't you talk, Brand?
Yeah, it's just touring's always been our main focus ever since we started Alpha Baby. It was just like, let's get some songs, enough to play a show, and then let's hit the road. And
we've been on the road for like 3 years straight, but even before that we were touring. Everything that we've done, it's completely shaped everything. And our last record, Tiger Talk, that's primarily influenced and written on tour because we didn't really have the time to do it at home. You know, we weren't like writing about coffee shops that we'd go to every day. We were just like didn't have the time, so we were like writing about even more emo things like, like, you know, missing your girlfriend and stuff.
And I think touring's great for that. There are a lot of great tour written songs about missing your girlfriend for sure. So I thought I'd ask you guys, how come there aren't more songs written by guys about touring and like, thanks bros for getting me through this hard tour?
Thanks bros for getting me through this tour. Been a really great time.
I don't know. I think, don't we have any bro tunes maybe? Like, give us some. No.
Save that for off stage. You can really get into it, you know.
Yeah. It is the best part of touring, though, is hanging out with all your friends. Like, we've met countless bands and like-minded people through touring. So.
Yeah, it's the best. It's like, it's kind of like the coolest boarding school in the world. You know, you meet all these people that are into the exact same things as you, and you. I don't know, you really get to know them, and it's really, really awesome. We should write some more bro tunes, I think.
Some bro tunes. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm not absolutely convinced, but thanks for the sentiment. So I was reading that when you guys were touring your first record, Yukon Blonde, self-titled, that you guys were staying on a lot of couches. Are you guys past that point now?
Thankfully, we are past that point. We do the occasional hotel now and again, and nothing beats a good, warm, cozy bed after a long night.
Now that you guys are past that point, who is staying on your couches?
We're not past that point. We're actually staying with friends right now.
Yeah. I got a house finally, like an apartment, a bachelor pad that I share with my girlfriend, and the bed is in the living room, and it's all it's nothing crazy. So that sense of reality is really nice to be grounded. But these guys, they're subletting off some friends who are touring China right now. So you know what I mean? Which,
if I could just jump in really quick, is I've just discovered this whole subletting thing like a year ago, and if you tour a lot, if you want to tour a lot, just give up your house, get a storage space for like $50 a month, and just sublet when you're home. It's the best thing in the world.
I'm Brandon Scott from Yukon Blonde. You're listening to The Interview Show with Scott Wood.
Jason Haberman from Yukon Blonde, and you're listening to The Interview Show with Scott Wood.
Welcome back to The Interview Show. This is Scott Wood, your host. You just heard Babies Don't Like Blue Anymore. That's by Yukon Blonde off their first self-titled effort. I would love it, since I have the guy standing here with me in the rain, if you guys could talk about that one.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. You give this one a shot.
Well, I don't. You wrote the words, though. I don't know.
You guys, you don't have to be like, this song is about the time that the baby died or whatever. You can be like, when we were writing this song, we got into a fist fight while we were recording.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, we probably did, because we used to have our lineup used to fight a lot. But yeah,
Definitely one of the first Yukon Blonde songs that was kind of finished and demoed out properly. Yeah. I always felt like it had this kind of John Ray Fletcher vibe because we had toured with him prior, and had that, I guess Northwest sound. Is that a?
No, it's like that anyways.
yeah. It's kind of a rip-off of a John Ray song. Like I was actually listening to "Oh Maria" last night with Graham in the van, and we haven't heard it in years. And like, there's that line like, I was content to stay up on the hills, like I haven't killed in years, sort of thing. And it's weird because now and then, you reflect on the lyrics of that song, and they're sort of similar. and we were just massive John Ray fans. I think that was a very heavily inspired John Ray song.
You once said at the end of a tour, I can't wait to get back to Vancouver and lay on a beach. So I was hoping that you could talk about your last day on your favorite beach in Vancouver.
Just laying in the mud right now. That'd be amazing. In Vancouver, Jericho's always a favorite of mine. I love going there. It's pretty much dead all the time, and it's massive. So that's always a good one to just go lay on right after a tour.
And so, for people who have never been to that beach, what's special about it for you?
The logs, the water, no, sand. I don't know. It's just it was one of the first beaches that when we moved here, it was like the first beach that I fell in love with. It's so far out, so it's like a great bike ride to get there, and I don't know. I just like Jericho. Bran has.
I like I like taking that seawall underneath Granville Street Bridge there and stuff, and then taking it to that dog beach. I go there almost every morning now with my dog, and I can't really remember the last time I was on, laying there getting burnt, but there's some good spots around Kitts Beach and whatnot. It's nice, pretty beautiful. Take in the seeing. We got to show this guy around.
Yeah. I'm just starting to check it out and know the streets, and it's actually really cool. So I've been here for 5 days now, and got a couple more weeks left. But so far, enjoying the JJ Bean Roasters. And
when it gets a little warmer, you have to get them to take you to Wreck Beach.
Okay.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Oh, that was a good beach.
Yeah, I kind of changed my opinion.
Couple
Wreck is
gin
the best. Like the the girl that sells the freezy the colored test tubes or whatever.
Boozy freezies.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
All right, Yukon Blonde, thank you very much for being on my show. I appreciate it. At the end of the show, I love the band to pick one of their tracks and talk about it as I bring up the music.
Guns is great. I was actually just going to pick something to be different, but Guns is cool with me. Yeah, Guns is good.
Topical song alert, perhaps.
Yeah, sort of. It's kind of weird that all that stuff just started coming up sort of right as that record was coming out, or right slightly after, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, that's it happens all the time, and it's basically just, I don't like to be political in any of my lyrics or anything, but that's just one of those things that's always stuck with me. Like, keeping a gun under your bed in a shoebox is the stupidest idea ever.
All right, so we're going to listen to Guns by Yukon Blonde. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
It's true what they say about guns. Hiding in the closet, they prey on lonely sons and daughters. All the other special ones. In your defense, will you have none? Because defense against the other people wielding guns is not real. your mama never teach you no?